持たず涙の雨なら優しすぎる嘘に書き換えた箱に閉じ込めた空の断片が未来のパズルにはまってくれない無限大の推論がノイズ吐き出して神さえも欺くロジック約束のあの場所へ僕らは宇宙のまで知らないゼロの弦の開くの全ては粒となり再生するそれなら途切れそうな意識もつなぎ止めてみせるのあの時間あの場所で君の時がもう一度始まる
Hello! This is NicoB, here with a Let's Play of Steins Gate Zero. Yes, guys, yes. The wait is finally over. It is now demon time. Oh my god, wow, yeah, I know. This is a Let's Play that's been a long time coming. And I kind of want to explain why it's been a long time coming. First off, I do just want to say right from the get-go, if you have not seen or played the original Steins Guide, I highly, highly recommend you either watch my playthrough of it or you go and play the game yourself, alright? Because I do think this is probably a bit of a hard game to jump into if you haven't played the other one, since this is based off a branching storyline from the original Steins Gate, you know? I'll be curious to see how much they actually end up recapping and talking about from the previous game, because there's kind of a lot of, like, stuff I feel like you kind of need to know in order for this to make sense. So, I do recommend it, at least for the best experience possible. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about the previous game, alright? So don't be surprised if I start spoiling plot points from the original Steins Gate. But yes, so the reason why Steins Gate Zero has been such a long time coming. So first off, a lot of you already kind of knew this. When this game initially was released in the West, the developer or the publisher, whoever it was, they weren't crazy about people Let's Playing their game when it was first released. And actually, like, for many months afterwards, they were like, no, we don't want anyone playing this game. I initially was going to play it just when it came out, but they didn't want people doing that. So I was like, oh, okay, well, there's not really anything I can do about it. You know, if I play it without their consent, I'd clearly get in trouble, probably get a copyright strike or something. So I decided not to. Even the way they made it sound like it was actually, they were never going to be okay with it. But fortunately, and this was probably maybe a little over a year later, they finally gave the go-ahead for Let's Players to play through this. But unfortunately, during that time, I had, you know, come to start playing a bunch of other things, and I'd sort of had time to sort of had the idea of what this game was sort of sink in a bit. And my desire to check it out sort of began to diminish over time. And a lot of that is because this game is, it's a sequel, sort of, but not really also. It's like basically following one of the last game's bad endings, right? For anyone who's seen what the true ending of Steins Gate is, you'll know that in that game, you basically get a bad ending before the true ending. And the bad ending is that you are the one who inadvertently kills Kurisu in one timeline, and you're like, oh my god, and you just hate yourself. But then at the last moment, you get a call from another timeline from your future self saying he's found a way to save Kurisu. And basically the only way to do it was to make the Okabe that found Kurisu's body think that she had died, just make it look like she died, fool him into thinking that, but not really have her die. And of course, how he ended up doing that was, so he knocked her out, and then he stabbed himself and like dropped a whole bunch of his blood in a pool under her, so it made it look like she had died, in order to fulfill that self-fulfilling prophecy, right? But what this game is that Okabe, the Okabe that initially, I believe, killed her, and then spends his days figuring out how to come to that conclusion. So we're gonna see how he reached that conclusion himself. Now, I believe that's what this is. Like I said, this is actually a game I haven't played in the original in a long time. I looked it up. My Let's Play of this game was back in 2015. So it's been almost 4 years since I played that game. So I'm pretty sure that was the future Okabe, the one that had stabbed Kurisu, that made that decision. I might be wrong. It might be someone from a totally different timeline. But if I remember correctly, that's how it went. So anyway, when I thought about it, I was like, that just sounds really depressing, honestly. Like, this game sounded depressing to me. Like, I'm just imagining like a kind of broken Okabe, you know, like having killed the woman he loves and now desperately trying to find a way to save her. It just didn't sound terribly satisfying to me, you know, and I didn't really want to play a game that would depress me like that. I've had a number of people tell me that there are a lot of like positive things in this game, but it just sort of over time my desire to check this out has sort of begun to diminish. But that said, though, I've sort of, after having some more time to think about it, I think I've had a renewed sort of vigor. I feel like I'm in the right mindset to check this game out now, and I'm hoping it isn't incredibly, horribly, soul-crushingly depressing. You know, I mean, it's okay if it's got some sad parts in it, as long as they're balanced out with at least a good number of happy moments. Like, the original Steins game has some fucked up moments. Like, holy shit. But, like, it was balanced out because, like, almost the entire first half of the game was just kind of like goofy shenanigans, you know, getting to know these characters and having just fun, you know, understanding the life around it before everything goes to shit in, like, the second half. So I'm hoping that it's just not all doom and gloom in this game. I mean, look at Okabe in this picture over here. He does not look terribly thrilled, does he? But I do hope they do a little bit of a recap, because, like I said, it's been a while. I do remember most of the characters and their personalities, but I'm sure there's going to be a few plot points I've forgotten. But the good news is I do still remember Lukaku is a guy. But he's a guy. I won't let me make a mistake again. Never again. So yes, don't take that as me being like, just like, oh, begrudgingly giving into this game because you guys really want me to. No, I'm genuinely curious. I want to see what this game is all about. I feel like I've reached a point where I'm not wary of this game, or, you know. Sometimes it just happens, you know. Sometimes you're like, I don't know if I feel like this is a game I want to play or do a let's play of right now. And after a while, you're like, okay, I feel ready for it. I think part of it's just because I haven't done a visual novel type of game in a long time. And honestly, you know, after doing a whole bunch of RPGs and stuff, which are much harder to record for me, this is going to be a lot nicer. These are usually just so much easier, because it's like there's no guessing like how long is this episode going to be. It's pretty much going to be about as long as it was when I recorded it. You know, not a whole lot's going to get cut out. And as such, recording time isn't incredibly long, and the editing usually isn't terribly long either. While I love playing RPGs, and have some of my favorite Let's Plays, you know, like I was saying before, this stuff can burn me out after a while. So I think this will be nice. And I've heard a lot of good things about this. You know, they actually did release an anime of this more recently that I think was also received pretty well, although I think most people were saying that the original visual novel that this is was probably a bit better, which doesn't surprise me. That tends to always be the case, you know, because what ends up happening in the anime is you end up losing some of particular details or things that you know, a visual novel has all the time in the world to tell you. Now, one thing that I have also been told consistently about this is that this game is, I mean, there's going to be a lot of probably heartfelt and heart-rending moments maybe that the voice actors do a really great job with. And what I did in the previous game, for any of you who watched it will know that I didn't have the voice acting on. For this series, whenever a character talks that isn't Okabe thinking to himself, it was voice acted. At least I think for all the major characters. And I turned that off and I did the voices myself because that's usually what I do, right? And all the voices themselves, by the way, they aren't in English, they're in Japanese. So, and I usually like having some kind of English vocals go along, right? Like, so that people can, like, if they choose to, just listen to it as opposed to having to read the text when things get said. I think it makes things easier that way. But I've heard people say that I probably shouldn't do that for this game, so I kind of want to test something out. I'm actually going to keep the voices on for this first episode, and I want to hear from you guys whether that's something you would want me to do for the remainder of this Let's Play, or if you prefer I go back to the way I did it the first time and give everybody my voices and do things that way. Yeah, and that's sort of, they each have their pros and cons, right? You know, if I let them do their voices, I can't really do my voices, or maybe I'm a little less likely to ad-lib some crazy shit. But you might get some more emotion from the characters, and of course, you're getting actual, like, females doing female voices. But also, you'll have to read the text yourself unless you are fluent in Japanese, so I don't know. I'll let you guys decide, but I'm going to keep it on for this first episode, and we'll just see what people say. It's interesting how in the config you can actually choose like which characters' voices you want turned off. I was like, wow, really? So yeah. Also, it seems a few people don't have voice actors. I'm not looking at any names. I'm just looking at the volume side. So don't worry, I'm not spoiling myself on anything. So it just seems like maybe there's a few major characters that don't have voice actors. Anyway, I think that's enough of setting things up. Hopefully it's alright. I hope you guys are excited about this. I'm finally getting to check this out. Seriously, this game's been requested for so long, and I appreciate your patience. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this, but I feel ready. I feel ready to check out, because I'm sure this is still going to get pretty dark. Let's see how Okabe manages to come up with the solution for previous Okabe, right? Alright guys, without further ado, let's get started. Oh! Okay, getting a little bit of a recap. So we learned that remember that was her father, right? Yep. Yeah, Kurisu, yep, inadvertently gets stabbed by Okabe. Yeah. That was it. That's him. So we're basically going to continue from that horrible ending. The hatch opened. Bright light flooded my eyes. Where was I? My eyes narrowed. I could barely make out the summer's twilight sky. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to disappear. But someone grabbed my arm and dragged me out. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not used to hearing them talk. All right. That's right. I think it was the other thing that really sort of kind of caught me off guard when I went in and watched like other Steins Gate like Let's Plays and other things, was that I wasn't aware, but their mouths actually moved. Like, yeah, when they did the voice acting and everything, their little mouths actually moved. I didn't know that because I had them all off the whole time. I was like, what the fuck? Sorry, Dars. Dars actually sounds weirdly like the one I kind of went with him. I haven't done it in a long time. It was like a deeper emotional reggae. But yeah, that's right. So this is, we're on the roof. Daru, I didn't remember Daru being here, but I know Miuri was here, and then the other chick, which is Daru's daughter from the future, is here.
Okarin?
Okarin? I didn't have the energy to respond to my own nickname. I fell to the ground and wrapped my arms around myself.
Okarin!
Miuri ran to me and looked down, her face worried. But her kindness felt like nothing but a nuisance. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone. Dar's voice is a little funny though. Yeah, Suzuha. That's right. Dang, give me a goddamn towel! Look at her! Badass Suzuha, look at her. Dara ran to the door that led back inside the building.
オカリン、大丈夫？しっかりして、死なないで。大丈夫。怪我してるわけじゃないよ。
He's just really sad. Stop it. Just get away from me. Leave me alone. I couldn't save her. In fact, I killed her myself. Right here 3 weeks ago. I killed her. I'm a murderer.
無駄だったんだ。何をやっても無駄だ。全部決まってしまっていることなんだよ。同じだ。真由里の時と同じなんだ。
Oh.
どれだけもがいたって結果は同じになる。
No matter how many times I try, it will all converge back to the same result, such as the wheel of Steins gate. The process doesn't matter. Whether you time travel or time leap, you can't go back and change the results of the past. I thought I understood that cruel truth, but now I was forced to realize it again, and in the worst possible way.
無駄だよ。無駄なんだ。何もかも無駄なんだよ。俺はやっぱりクリスを助けられないんだ。分かってた。分かってたんだ。こうなるって予想してたんだ。
Wow, voice acting really is good. I can't match this.
もう疲れた。ずっと休んでないんだ。だからもういいよ。
オカリン、
オカリン。
一体何が？
俺が殺してしまった。バカみたいだ。全部俺のせいだ。
マキセ・クリスをさ、刺し殺しちゃったんだ。殺した？嘘、そんな。でも安心して、まだもう一回分タイムトラベルはできる。
ほっといてくれ。俺のことなんか何度やったって結果は同じだ。
何言ってんの？諦めるつもり？オカリンおじさんの肩には何十億っていう人の命がかかってるんだよ。たった一回の失敗が何だって言うんだ。
クリスはどうやったって助けられない。世界線の収束には逆らえない。
Word line convergence. Okay, can we? Oh no, that's the reality of this world. Oh, that was auto. See that tip? Oh, achievement! Meets the studying that which blugga blugga blugga. This term refers to an infinite number of possible worlds. However, these worlds do not exist in parallel. Only one exists at a given time. Everything that occurs along a world line from the past to the future has been predetermined. Thus, no matter how much you change the past along a single world line, the result will converge to the same outcome. Right. So what we end up learning, though, is that we end up creating a new world line, right? One where she doesn't die. And that was sort of what that's what he comes to learn at the end of the last game. I learned that a long time ago. With Mira dying 8,000 times.
こうなったらビンタしてでも気合い入れ直して。
I'm gonna smack some.
無理強いするのは良くないよ。
Aw, Miri's got such an adorable little voice. Just as I imagined it. I still love Miyushi the best, honestly. Kurisu, she's tsundere as shit and cute as a button, but I think Miyuri's still my favorite. I even got little statues of them, by the way. I got little figures of them a while back of both Kurisu and Miyuri, both in little kimonos. They're cute as hell.
こんなボロボロになってるオカリン見てられないもん。 に押し付けるの？そんなの重すぎるよ。
Man, I gotta say that's a lot of they voice the entire section of anything they say. That's a shit ton of dialogue. Oh my god. It's gotta take a long time.
オカリンおじさんには世界の観測者としての能力があるからだよ。オカリンが望んだわけじゃないのに、それにもう一度やったってまたオカリンが傷つくだけだって思うな。未来のことを人一人で変えようなんてきっと無理なんだよ。だからそのためのシュタインズゲートで、気持ちはわかるよ。でもさ、私も未来をかけてここまで来てるんだよね。
Yes, because gotta avoid that World War III.
2036年には戻れないんだ。そう簡単に諦めるつもりはないから。オカリンおじさん、一つだけ忠告しとく。このタイムマシンに残されてる燃料は有限なの。さっきは往復2回分しか残ってないって言ったけど、実はまだそれなりに余裕はある。それでも移動できる時間はおよそ344日分。片道のタイムトラベルだとしても今から1年と経たないうちに7月28日には届かなくなる。覚えといて。その日になったらさ、私はたとえ一人でも飛ぶよ。
Okay. Someone was saying something to me. Okay. Basically, now we've got a deadline, right? She's saying, okay, we can only do this. We won't be able to come back to this day if you don't get it done in time. So there we go. Now we've got 344 days, shy of a year, to figure out how to say Kurisu, right? But I couldn't understand the words. I didn't want to listen to anything. I just wanted to sleep. Just let this all end. Just let me go.
オカリン、オカリン、ねえ、オカリン。
Oh.
もう頑張らなくてもいいからね。泣いてもいいんだよ。オカリン、マユシーはそばにいるからね。オカリン。
Aw, thanks, Miyushi. I love you too. I don't know if Muri's words were the reason why, but the tears started to flow. I sighed to forget everything. Ever since that day, I stopped going to the future Gadget laboratory. I think there's a way to just quickly click on a button. How do I do that again? Oh, there it is. Okay, I gotta hit back or select. Future Gadget Laboratory. Fictional. A lab in name only. It is actually a group of students who make strange inventions. Its founder, Rintaro Okabe, described it as a place where he can further his ambitions to overthrow the ruling structure of the world. Absolute zero. November 23rd, 2010. UPX, the new symbol of Akihabara was located right in front of the station. Do we jump back in time? In the hall of the 4th floor, preparations have been going on all morning for the ATF Akihabara Technoforum convention. Universities and labs from both inside and outside the country would work together to put on several seminars and symposiums at irregular intervals. My school, Tokyo Denki University, was participating as part of its industry collaboration efforts. Students were required to attend these seminars and submit reports to their instructors. Okay, are we actually going back see how we got to this point? Because that'd be a lot to cover. First founded as the Denki School in 1907 and 1949, it became a college in Kanda, Tokyo. Denki University trains engineers and scientists to promote the healthy development of scientific technology. It was founded around the principle of practical study above all else, and its educational research motto is Technology is people. Because of the student's location, it was deeply involved in the development of Kibara. Otherwise, they wouldn't get credit for their related classes. In addition, I was supposed to help one of the lecturers, Associate Professor Zaki. I just got a list from the reception desk at the shared lobby. I was waiting to check off the names of the students who were coming to the lectures. There was still some time before the seminar started, so the lobby was mostly empty. None of the students on the list were here yet. I was bored, but I couldn't do anything but wait. The old me never could have imagined doing anything like this, but impressing Izaki was part of my new goal in life. Victor Kandia University. Yes, that was my new goal. Izaki did a lot of joint research projects with them and knew a lot of people there. The best first step to getting there my brain could come up with was being his assistant. Also, this convention was holding another seminar by Victor Kandria University after the one held this summer. Of course, that interested me too. Summer. Oh. Image of her as she was then flashed through my mind. Oh. No? Okay, no. We jump forward in time, I think. I was trying to get to Victor Kandria so that I could learn about the work that Kurisu Makise had been doing. I wanted to try to do it myself. Of course, I wasn't a genius like Kurisu. I knew there was no way I'd ever be able to do exactly what she did. But if I could do even 10% of it, honestly, I'm amazed that I've recovered so well. I thought that to myself and chuckled, just as a voice called to me from across the lobby.
Huh?
Oh? Oh! You're new, I think. Actually, you're like Miyuri with like long hair and green eyes. I looked up and saw a young girl approach from the elevator hall. She was short and petite. Everything about her was small. I could make out a few of the curves that don't appear until after puberty. So at least she wasn't in elementary school, but Okabe, why are you looking that hard? Maybe middle school? For someone with such a cute face, she clearly didn't care about her appearance. Her hair wasn't styled and it flowed down her back. Even I could tell her clothes weren't very fashionable. Staff room.
ここは ATF のセミナー会場だけど。
Clearly not a place where a middle school girl belonged. She probably just come to the wrong place.
そんなの分かっているわ。何度同じ話を繰り返せば気が済むの。
いや、今初めて行ったんだけど。
私にとってはあなたで4回目よ。この場所に来てからね。
Oh my god, what the fuck? Are you the new tsundere girl? What the hell? Bakuna. Irritated, she pulled a card out of her jacket. It was one of the IDs given out to invited guests. Her name and the name of her workplace were written on the front.
Huh?
Maho Hiyajo. Victor Kandria University, USA, Brain Science Institute.
ビクトル・コンドリア大学脳科学研究所
Brain science. The field study that researches animal brains, also called neuroscience, investigates the brains from a number of perspectives, including biology, genetics, medicine, psychology, and electrical engineering. I looked at the card, and then at her, then back at the card, then I looked at her again. I finally realized.
あ、そういうことか。そのカード、どこに落ちてたんだ？拾ってくれたん。
話も4回目よ。
I've done that 3 times already too. Bakuna! This is her. Just for some reason, she's really small. She sighed and showed me another card. This one was a photo ID from Victor Kandria University.
Yeah?
It was the same ID I'd seen Kurisu holding before on another world line. The photo on the card, yeah, it was definitely her.
Hiyajo Maho って読むの。私の名前、Hiyajo Maho。漢字でもローマ字でも誰も読めた試しがないから、先に言っとくわ。
Hiyajo Maho. No, you said it wrong, you go die! Ah!
ビクトル・コンドリア大学の中学生
She like some like young genius or something?
寝ぼけるなら夜にして大学に中学生がいるわけないでしょ。
それもそうだな。じゃあ飛び級か。
Unlike Japan, it wasn't uncommon for Americans to skip grades. Kurisu made it to university at age 17. But still, a girl this young working in a university lab?
一つ確認していいかしら。
おう。
あなた今少なからず衝撃を受けてるわよね。こんな小さい子が信じられないかしら。それともこの年齢ですごいの方。
Don't tell me you're like a 1,000-year-old demon or some shit. She got me.
高校をよく見なさい。
The girl, Maho Hiyajo, pointed to the part of the ID with her slender fingers. She was born in 1989. It was 2010, so...
21歳
The fuck? Bullshit!
つまり立派な成人女性よ。中学生じゃないのよ。もちろん小学生でも幼稚園児でも。
I'm an adult! Sure you are, little girl. Now get on your way. I've got big, important adult things to do. She reaches out to try to grab his face, but she can't because she's so small. It's like, all right, calm down. Here, have a lollipop. Ooh, yummy. And then she puffed out her chest. There wasn't much to see, but I can imagine her saying, they look bigger when I'm not wearing clothes. They're huge. God damn it. I didn't even know that. Little girl, get out of here.
何かしらその顔は。
いや悪かったわ。謝る。
Couldn't believe it. She was older than me? Oh my god, not this shit. If Dara was here, he'd be dancing around screaming, "Legal loli for the win!" Ah! For the win. That's slang for use to express excitement about a positive event. Really, we have to actually describe what this is. Abbreviated to FTW. Legal loli refers to a character in anime manga who appears to be no older than an elementary schooler, but is in fact over the legal age of 20. The fuck? That's otaku slang. Ah! Oh, thank God. I didn't need to know that.
まあいいわ。世界中どこへ行っても同じ目に遭ってるから。
I forgot about all that, like, especially with Dara around, and also Okabe. Just out like all the nerdy fucking slang and shit that they sling around. All the anime shit that's in Steins Gate. Gotta have that one super hot chick, right? That's actually a dude. All the good fucking stereotypes and tropes and shit. Like, ah!
そうだろうな。
何か言った？
いや別に。
Still, the Brain Science Institute. That's the Smart People Institute. That's where Kurisu worked. Which means this person, might know a lot about Kurisu. Held back the impulse to start badgering her with questions. Hey, did you know that Kurisu? You know the girl that fucking died recently? By the way, I murdered her. I looked at the pamphlet with the seminar schedules. Victor Condria's lecture was the last one for the day and was clearly intended to be the biggest. Was this Maho Hiyajo girl going to give a lecture? Just like Kurisu had done at the summer convention. No, wait, that's wrong. That never happened. No, wait, that's wrong! Kurisu Makise never gave any lectures over the summer. That happened in the Alpha World line. In the world line I inhabited now, before the summer convention, she'd already...
君が今日は登壇を?
Bet the dust.
いいえ、私は助手として来たの。あと通訳も兼ねてね。
I looked at the pamphlet again and saw that the lecturer was a man named Alexis Leskinen. Alexis Leskinen. Professor at Victor Condria University and the chief researcher at the Brain Science Institute.
テーマは人工知能革命か。面白そうだ。
時間があったらぜひ聞いてみてほしいわね。
そうするよ。あ、スタッフルームだったよな。
Staff room. I led Maho over to the elevator and showed her where the staff room was.
ありがとう。
I had no reason to hang around her any further. Bye, weird girl. I'm sure you're not gonna show up later. I said goodbye. I was just about to turn around. Just then, the elevator opened. A woman emerged. That was Kurisu. She's back for the dead. The instant I saw her face, every hair on my body stood on end. Uh-oh. Is it? Oh, God, it's her! Shining Finger! Oh, my God. It is Moeka. I.e. Shining Finger, i.e. Phone Girl, i.e. fucking Crazy Pants. Moeka. Kitty! Oh, my God, her ass. I didn't realize her, well, actually, wait, was that her? Yeah, that's her last name. It gets kind of, yeah, because we get it, the voice actors will say the names last and first, but it's written on the text box first and last. Get you! That's all I could do to keep myself from screaming. Calm down. It's the Beta World line. Mayuri's alive. She didn't murder anybody. Moeka's not going to kill her. This time. Yeah, oh god, yeah. You definitely need to have played the other game or seen the other game. Otherwise, you're gonna have no fucking idea what's going on. I thought they might give us some sort of recap. Nope, they're like, fuck you. Here's a recap, go play the other game, dummy. Our eyes met. The eyes on the other side of her glasses were as dead as ever, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. I frankly averted my gaze before she realized something was wrong. She tilted her head for a second, but quickly lost interest in me and turned toward Maho. I don't know, have they not met in this timeline? Or in this world line? I'm not sure.
雑誌社の方でしたよね。お約束通り取材を。
Even in this world line, Moeka still only spoke in faint whispers. She must have been talking through her phone.
レスキネン教授はまだなんです。少しお待たせしてしまいますけど。はい。
はい。
それまで私でよければシステムの概要でもお願いします。
The two of them disappeared into the staff room. As I watched them leave, I took a deep breath. I tried to calm down, but it wasn't working.
Kiryu Moeka.
Kiryu.
もしかしてまたお前なのか?
You gonna murder somebody else again? You gonna fuck up my fucking day again? It was a terrible feeling, like cold finger tracing the wounds in my heart. That night when the terrorist threats shut down all the trains in Akihabara. That awful night when I just knew something was gonna happen. And it did!
ここでもまたお前が
Yeah, that's right. That's right. She came in her skin-tight suit and shot Miuri in the fucking face. CERN! That's right. CERN! The bad guys! Or was I just imagining things? Was she just a magazine reporter now instead of a CERN rounder? CERN rounder. Rounder, an unofficial group that works for CERN. It is in theory an independent group that does technology research. Rounders are deployed all over the world and their exact numbers are unknown. The real objective is to recover IBM 5100s. The only machines capable of hacking CERN's hidden database. That's right. She kept going around asking Okabe about that as much as humanly possible. In the last game, she just nagged at him like the most of the game, like, where's that fucking IBM 5100? Tell me, bitch! I gave her the Fukawa voice. As well as crushing any attempts at the time machine research around the world and taking the scientists back to work for CERN. They are in essence mercenaries who are capable of using force if necessary. Some of the members on the bottom rung do their work without even ever meeting another rounder face to face. CERN! European Laboratory for Nuclear Research. CERN, however, is not an acronym for the group. Comes from the French Society European Research Nuclear. European Society for the Nuclear Research. Its predecessor group. The lab consists of the world's largest particle accelerator on the outskirts of Geneva, Switzerland. It crosses the border between France and Switzerland, and there is a bank, library, post office, and living quarters located in the grounds. Research teams from all over the world, but particularly the 19 countries of Europe, gather here to perform experiments in elementary particle physics. Several thousand people work at CERN. They're also kind of the bad guys of this game. The organization. Turns out there was an organization. It was CERN all along. No, even Moeka was a rounder. We had nothing to do with CERN anymore. CERN wouldn't be watching us. I took another deep breath, grabbed some of the anxiety meds in my pocket, and swallowed them down with some mineral water I'd bought ahead of time. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. I laughed at myself a little and sat down on one of the receptionist desk chairs. Poor Okabe. Whole thing's fucked him up good. The table was filled with leaflets, pamphlets, and other things for the attendants. Okay. How do I open my phone? Oh, yep, there we go. Rhine time! Oh my god, it's Miri! And she looks a little different.
Titor! Are things going okay with seminar?
Yeah, no problem. There was a little accident. I'm not sure. Not sure. Resonating reaction rendezvous. Oh, Ocarine on the other hand looked fucking sad. That's a sad Ocarine face there.
You'll be fine. He usually guarantees it.
I'm just having trouble paying attention. There's a seminar I wanted to attend, so I'm not getting anywhere with my work.
I see. You're nervous, huh? Just tell yourself that if you work hard, you can go see Mr. Seminar's reward. And then you'll focus on the work right in front of you. Oh, yeah. Ooh. There's a Care Bear with a inner tube.
Okay, outside Congress, I've got my own emote. That's how fucking rebel I am. I'm gonna call some people. Daru, check it out. Look at loli. Lukaku. I had an ending with you. Suzuha, look at, oh, everyone looks updated here. Yuki Amane. Oh, wait. Yuki? Holy shit, she looks a lot older. Haven't been that long, though. Because we gotta do this shit in less than a fucking year, right? Or we're all demon duped. My eyes wandered to one of the pamphlets. Nakabachi Theory and the Genealogy of Pseudoscience. This pamphlet was for Professor Izaki's seminar. Nakabachi Theory. The paper he denounced in Russia. A paper held the key to creating a real time machine. Fuck time machines. On that day, July 28th, Nakabachi had stolen the paper from Kurisu, his own daughter, and left with it. I knew that. Only Nakabachi and I knew that. Yeah, whatever happened to him now, you know? He like ran, I guess he's gone, right? I flipped through the pamphlet. There's a brief introduction to the many forms of pseudoscience and fake scientific discoveries that had emerged since the start of the 20th century. On its own, it did make for an interesting reading. And at the end of the pamphlet, Nakabachi Theory was introduced as nothing more than another entry in that long list of fakes. So Dr. Nakabachi's time machine theory had been completely ignored by the academic world. Ha ha! Fuck you! All the glory, fame, and power he wanted so badly that he was willing to get rid of his own daughter, he didn't get any of it. And I'd heard rumors that after the announcement, he'd been imprisoned in a Russian lab. To make it even funnier, he thought he was getting VIP treatment. Ah! He's burning in the deepest bowels of hell now. For a short time, there was essays and interviews in bogus academic journals. Even there, it was obvious that it had all gone to his head. The ironic thing was that Nakabachi Theory was completely correct and completely revolutionary. The Russian government was worried about leaking, and the SVR was doing everything it could to keep it under wraps. Talk about ironic. The service of the External Reconnaissance of the Russian Federation, aka SVR, Russia's external intelligence agency. Its HQ is in Yasinovo in southern Moscow. After the old Soviet Committee for the State Security was disbanded, the new SVR was modeled after the KGB's first directorate. There are other intelligence agencies in Russia as well, such as the main intelligence directorate, GRU, and the Federal Security Service. Each of them has their own territory and specialization. But under the surface, there was a full-scale information war beginning over the paper. Oh yeah, John Titor, the time traveler from 2036. John Titor had told me so, which meant it had to be true. That was actually Suzuha, right? In November 2000, a man appeared on an American message board claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2036. This became an internet phenomenon. Inspired a storm of questions and debate. A man called himself John Titor and published partial pictures of the manual of his time machine, as well as an explanation for how it operated. He also made clear that what happened in the near future and how interfering with the timeline worked, principles behind the multiverse and parallel worlds, as well as timelines and world lines. And then 4 months after his appearance, he left a final message saying that he completed his mission and be returning to his world. Then he vanished for good. I believe that was Suzuha, I think, right? Thought it would fucking tell me there. Was World War III really going to happen? There's no point in thinking about it. Just a little more before the drugs kicked in. I closed my eyes. Yeah, that's the good shit right there, boy. Several hours later, the convention was going well. After Professor Izaki's seminar, most of the students from my university went home, but I killed some time and came back. I went to hear the Victor Chondria lecture. Head to the hall with plenty of time to spare and saw Maho Hiyajo coming from the staff room. She was with a very tall foreigner. Was that Alexis Leskinen? It didn't seem like an American name, but maybe he was an immigrant like Kurisu, or at least descended from one. I didn't mean to have eavesdropped, but the look on their faces was so serious that I couldn't help but listen. Since they were both speaking English, I could barely make out any of it, but I could tell from their voices that it wasn't a pleasant chat. Wait, did I just hear the word makise? I hated the fact that I couldn't speak English. If I'd known that this was going to happen, I would have gone to an English school. Two of them walked into the waiting room for lecturers. It was located right next to the UPX theater. I can't speak English, except for the English I'm speaking right now. That shit always makes me laugh. I put together the few fragments that I was able to understand. Fire at Kurisu's house. Mrs. Makise is alright. Robbery. The police called off the investigation. Why was the FBI there? It doesn't make sense. The FBI! Federal Bureau of Investigation, American police organization. It is attached to the Department of Justice, handles crimes that occur on American soil. There are approximately 30,000 people work for the FBI. Bugga, bugga, bugga. Okay. We all know who the FBI is. FBI, open up! I think that's what they were saying. Kurisu's house? Do they mean where she lived in America? Her mother could still live in America. Is that where the fire was? And then words like robbery and the investigation was called off. I really wanted to know more. I stood there and worried until it was time for the lecture to begin. With nothing else to do, I went inside the theater. I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowds going inside, but it was a very high-energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different than Izaki's seminar, which was mostly students there for credit. The place was nearly full with a crowd of scientists and people who wanted to learn about cutting-edge technology. Victor Chondria's researchers had published a slate of papers in Science recently and had gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that was why. Were there any empty seats? I found a single one open seat at the edge. Wait, did I just read that again, or did this show up twice? Oh, I think I did hit a button. I found a single empty seat at the edge. But when I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. Ah! You again. Moika Kiryu was there. She was speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I had once named her Shining Finger when I thought she was sort of cute in a dorky, weird, awkward way, but no, fuck you. You know what? As cool as Shining Finger. That's also where Nico learned about that fucking awesome line in the anime. Shining Finger! Because of her incredible typing speed, she was as fast as ever. Who was she talking to? I didn't even want to imagine. I quickly turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Leskinson reached the podium almost the exact instant I sat down. Ah! There was a huge wave of applause. Yeah, dude, look at loli! Ah! Larry, get out of here! Dara sitting next to him. I'm here too! Ah! Oh, there, get out of here! When they saw the tiny little girl comes up next to him, the applause faded to confused murmurs. I like her hair is almost as long as she is. Maho must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, she looked like she belonged there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, he actually did say that in English. Oh my god, there's English voice acting in this game, guys! First, Dr. Leskinen began to speak in English. When he made eye contact with Maho, she began to interpret.
Thank you for attending this
皆さ
seminar.
ん、本日は私のセミナーに集まってくださって感謝します。
No, I understood what he said! Shut up, Maho! Thank you for attending. Maho, no! Stop talking over it!
I am Alexis Leskinen
ビクトル・
at the
コンドリア
Victor
大
Condolia
学
University
脳科学
Neuroscientist
研究所の
I specialize
ア
in
レクシス・
brain
レスキネン
signal
で
processing
す。
systems and
専門は
artificial intelligence.
脳信号処理システムおよび人工知能理論になります。そして私は助手のヒアジョウ・マホです。同じく脳科学研究所で教授の指導に沿って研究をしています。よろしく。
The audience started murmuring again. That was the same way I responded when I met her. Well, that'll happen, yeah.
Now, without further ado,
では
I'd
早
like
速
to
ですが、
introduce some of
私たちの
our
最先端
cutting-edge
研究の一端をご紹介します。
It sounds like the voice that's doing the other guy sounds like a robot. Like one of the... I think actually, I feel like it might be. Like they just typed this into like one of those computer things and just had to read out in like a robot voice. Hello, my name is Leskinen. They're like, Japanese people will know the difference. I said, I mean, all these people are fucking Japanese, right? Why is everyone surprised? Everyone looks like a little baby in Japan, right? Everyone's younger than they look to be. They all have baby faces until they're like fucking 80.
I know today's theme is
テーマは
revolution in artificial
人工知能
intelligence.
革命
But I
としま
think
したが
you find this research
これからデ
will
モンスト
exceed
レーション
your
するシステム
wildest
は
expectations.
おそらく皆さんの想像を超えたものではないかと思っています
Okay, I think artificial intelligence is kind of self-explanatory. Dr. Leskinen stood in front of the laptop that had been placed on the podium and started to type.
This terminal here is connected
こ
to
の
one
パソコン
of
です
the
が
supercomputers.
研究所のスーパーコンピューターの一つと説
ス
明されてい
ーパー
ます
コンピューターで。
ああまだプロジェクターには映さないで
One of the staffers was about to display the laptop's screen on the front projector. Some kind of important program must have been booting up because Maho Hiyajo stopped them.
Sorry, this is all
すみません
still in development.
まだ開発
We
途中
haven't
なんで
had
す
time to develop much of UI
非
yet.
常に美的センスのないプログラムが画面いっぱいに溢れ返っています
Honestly, I'm a
こんな
little
チープな
embarrassed
プログ
by
ラムを
all
見
this
られるのは
computer
恥ずか
here.
しい
I almost feel like
裸を
I'm
見られるより
naked
も
here.
ね
Actually, I'm not sure now. I think I just heard him say honestly, and he just said honestry. Honestry?
Any engineers out there?
この中にエンジニアの方がいるなら理解していただけますよね
Somebody else got professor's joke and laugh.
Anyway, while this finishes
起
setting
動
up,
するまでの
I'll
間
give you a quick
この
overview
システ
of
ム
our
全
system.
体の概略を説明しましょう
Or maybe it's a Japanese computer trying to say. That'd be even fucking funnier. Even the Japanese computers can't say fucking English correctly. There was another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on the screen. And at the top of the diagram is a Japanese translation for the general audience. Temporal cortex. Analysis of neuropulse signals relating to the memory stored in the temporal lobe. Okay, a nerve pulse, an electrical signal that travels through a human's nerve cells used to quickly spread information between cells. Temporal cortex, a part of the cerebrum located at the side of the brain. It controls memory, judgment, emotional restraint, hearing, and more. It's also used for accessing the hippocampus, which is the edge of the cerebrum. Nani? I knew that title well. In fact, I was sure I could never forget it. It was the title of an essay written by a 17-year-old genius and published in Science. She completely analyzed the nerve impulse patterns that govern human memory and used that to digitize the memories themselves into data. And she'd used that to invent the time leap machine right in front of my eyes. Though none of that had actually happened anymore.
We've
Oh,
actually
she
been
was
featured
dead.
in the
サイエン
Titor
ス誌に掲載さ
It's
れ
like
た
her.
ので
Some of you
ご存知
may
の
already
方もいるでしょう
be familiar with the project. It was proposed by a very talented
これは
Japanese member of our team.
私たちのチームにいた天才的な日本人研究者によって提唱され完成されたものです
So it sounds like the Japanese people really struggle with the L sound. It always ends up coming as an R sound. Well, finalized.
Human memories are stored in
人間の
the
記憶
cerebral
は
cortex,
大
particularly
脳
in
皮
the
質
temporal.
とりわけ
A little like flash
側
memory.
頭葉に記録されますいわゆるフラッシュメモリみたいなもの
Cerebral cortex, the gray-colored external layer of the human brain. It's only a few millimeters thick, but consists of over 10 billion neurons and countless layers. The central core governing sensation, movement, and mental activity, different parts handle different functions.
The part of the temporal lobe
そのメモリに記
that
憶を書
Temporal
き込んだり読み出したりするのが側頭葉にある海馬傍回という部位になります
Hippocampal Gyrus. Hippocampal Gyrus is found on the outside edge of the hippocampus. It is the part of the brain that controls memories and spatial recognition. It is responsible for spatial processing as well as the sensation of being familiar with a situation or place. It plays an important role in memory encoding and retrieval. Dr. Leskinen pointed to the diagrams of the brain and hippocampus on the screen.
brain works by transmitting
脳は
electrical signals between
ニューロン
cells
と呼ばれる
called
細
neurons.
胞の間を電気信号が伝わっていくことで働いています
Okay, I think we all know what a neuron is. Electrical pulses flow through the brains to share various types of information. Nerve cells.
What we call memories are
記
just
憶というの
those
も
electrical signals
実
and
は
they are
こう
controlled
い
by
った
the
電気信号の
Hippocampal
伝わりの一つなのですその働きを制御しているのが海馬傍回と言ってもいいでしょう
In other words,
つまり
electrical signals passing through
電
the
気信号が
Hippocampal
海馬
Gyrus
傍
is
回を
what
出
creates
入りす
memories.
ることで記憶は作られていくんですね
It's interesting because it really is like, I mean, like, this is all real, right? This is all real, science. That is how the brains work. And it's interesting how they do manage to make that into like a semi-real feeling idea of time travel. You're basically passing your consciousness from one body to the next. The time leap machine.
That was a foundation for
そこで
Rintaro case.
マキセ・クリスはこの論文を書いた日本人研究者です。
And excuse me, I mean, Ms. Makise, one of our
マキセ
research
研
assistants.
究員は考えました。
You see here, electrical signals, signal patterns. The
海馬
cerebral
傍
cortex.
回を通る電気信号が電気信号のパターンと大脳皮質の
Uh-oh. She's starting to get emotional, maybe? Maho started to have trouble with her interpreting. She was getting confused. No matter how good you were with languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult. Oh. I once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. International conferences and live broadcasters from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. Really? Interesting. I mean, that would be pretty hard to do. You can't, it's not like there's a single word for apple in this language, in Japanese. Certain languages translate better than others. Like, I think, like, Spanish to English is probably not too bad. I don't know about French to English, but there's always, like, different sentence structures. Or maybe, was she having trouble because Kurisu's name came up? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Dr. Leskinen saw she was having trouble and cut himself off.
すみません。
すみません。
Ms. Makise, focus on the patterns
マキセ
entering and
研究員
exiting
は
the Hippocampal Gyrus.
海馬傍回を出入りする電気信号のパターンに着目しました。
By analyzing those patterns,
そのパタ
she was
ーン
able
が
to gather data on which
大脳
memories
皮
in the
質の
cerebral cortex
どの記憶と
they
対
corresponded
応しているのか解析を行って完全なデータを得たのです。
to. This data allows her to take
これによって
the kind of memories she wants
記憶という
and
曖昧で
convert them
アナ
into
ロ
a
グな
digital
ものを
combination of
電気信号のパターンの組み合わせというデジタルなものに変換する基礎理論が確立されたのです。
Ms. Makise published her research
これが
in several journals.
サイエンス誌に
Digibrain.
掲載された彼女の論文です。
And now, based on her theory,
そして現
our
在
team has developed a system
私たちの
to
チームは
store memories as digital
その
data.
理論をもとに人間の記憶をデジタルデータとして取得するシステムを開発しています。
A wave of whispers swept across the
In
theater.
other words,
それはすなわち
this system allows human memories
人
to
間
be
の
stored
記
and
憶を
accessed
コンピュ
on
ーターに保
computers.
存しそれを活用するシステムということになります。
The whispers turned into a low roar. I see. So even after her death, Kurisu's research was being carried on. Of course, maybe it was natural that it would be. That was the basic theory for time leaping, which I had proved myself, even if I could never prove it to anyone else in the Alpha world line. My memories have been turned into data and stored on a computer. There's no doubt about that. What Dr. Leskinen was talking about right now was the basic technology required for that process.
We are
現
attempting
在
to apply this
私
research
たち
to
が
two
行
major
っている
projects.
プロジェクト
The
は
first is
主
medical
に
treatment.
2つです。1つは医療分野への応用です。
The slide on the projector
For
changed.
this application, we've
こ
been
ちらは
cooperating with the
精神生理
Physiological
学研究所
Psychology
と
Institute.
共同で行っているプロジェクトです。
By passing data from a computer
コ
to
ン
the
ピューターに保
Hippocampal
存した
Gyrus,
記憶デ
we
ータ
can
を
rewrite memories
海馬
to
傍回
the
を
original
通し
brain.
て再び元の脳に書き戻すというもので
Incredible!
Incredible! Someone who looked like a grad student in the front row shouted. Dr. Leskinen didn't seem particularly put off by the interruption. I'll continue her interpretation.
You don't believe it? I know how you feel.
信じがた
I've
い
been thinking
で
the
す
same
か。
thing if I were you.
その気持ちは理解できます。私も皆さんの立場であればそう言ったでしょう。
But let me just ask you.
しかし
Can you imagine
この
the
研究に
incredible
私たちは
applications of
手応
this
えを感
technology?
じています。これが実用化できればどんなに素晴らしいことでしょう。
We could treat memory loss
例えば
in secondary or
老化による記憶障害
that currently have
あ
no
と
cure.
はアルツハイマーなどそうしたものへの対処療法が期待できます。
Symptomatic therapy. Treatment intended not to cure the cause of disease, but to alleviate its symptoms and relieve pain. Painkillers and fever reducers are examples of symptomatic therapy. I see.
Anyone's memories could be
患者の記憶をデータ
as
として
digital
自
data.
動的にバックアップしていくのです。
That would be pretty nice.
Even if a memory is lost,
記憶が失われたとしても
the every time it's possible to
その都度
access a
PC にアクセ
and
スし
reinstall data in
脳
the
内
brain.
にデータを再インストールすることが可能です。
That's nice. It definitely, I mean, I understand this is all science fiction here, but I also believe, I mean, the reason why you start losing your memories like that is because I think your brain is actually dying, unfortunately. Parts of your brain are starting to, like, basically die. That's why you're losing your memories. Unless you can heal that part of the brain, I don't think it's going to retain anything.
We could halt the progress of
それ
senility
によっ
and
て
dementia.
忘
That's the
却の
sort of
進
thing
行
we
を食い
believe
止め
this
られる
research
のではない
can
か
accomplish.
私たちはそう考えています。
Eventually, it would be
最
possible
終
to
的に
directly
は
and continuously
海馬妨害
access
から
data stored on
PC
the
内の
computer
記憶
to
データに
the
常時
target
アクセスできるようになるでしょう。
So if the brain were to lose
そうすれば
functionality,
脳
say
機能が
brain
失われ
damage
た
or
状態
atrophy,
例えば脳が激しく損傷したり萎縮してしまった場合などですが
the system would essentially
そのような状態でも
whatever part of the
変わら
brain
ず
was
脳
fine.
機能を維持できます。
Think of it like an
I
あた
can
か
live in a
も
computer.
外部ストレージと同じように
External storage. I think we know what that is. A strange feeling gripped the hall. Part of it was the shock and feeling that they were witnessing the announcement of an incredible technology. Part of it was skepticism that a system like this could ever actually work. And part of it was revulsion at the idea of playing around with a human brain like that. Excitement born of all these things passed from one member of the crowd to another. Okabe's over there just like, been there, done that! Dr. Leskinen raised his hand to encourage
I'm
questioners.
seeing some of you have questions.
どうやら2つ目のプロジェクトをお話しする前に質問を受け付けないといけないようですね。
Yeah, I've got a question. How old is that girl up there?
I'll answer as many as I can. Go ahead.
できる範囲でお答えします。どうぞ。
Yes, I have a question. How do you think you can get away with stealing my idea? I totally did this first. Many hands were raised. I could tell there was a wide range of people interested, both young and old, raising their hands. Dr. Leskinen pointed to a questioner. This was the first question. Sampling would be required when digitizing analog memories. Does that mean any information would be lost? The act of taking data at regular intervals. Professor Nazi listened to the question in Japanese and began to respond in English when the speaker finished. Maybe he was able to understand Japanese, if not speak it.
Let me reflect
そ
that.
の質問を言い換えると
You're talking about attempting to
オーケストラの生演奏
orchestral
を
performance and how you
WAV の
can
データに
navigate
保存する
complex
際
data with the best
生演
lossless
奏
format.
の全てを完璧に記録することはできないと
That's certainly a concern.
確かに
It's
そ
one
の
of the
懸念
most
はあります。
pressing issues our
現在の
research is
研究で
addressing right now.
最も困難な問題の一つです。
Interesting. That is an interesting idea. It's true. You wouldn't. You're not when you're recording. You're not. Yeah, it's true. You're not getting everything. So how could you truly get everything this way?
Now, if the intercerebral network
脳内の
uses
ネットワークが
simple on-off states for
神経伝達物質
neurotransmitters
の
like
オ
binary
ン
data,
オフだけ
it
で
would be easy.
つまり二進数的にデータのやり取りをしているのであれば簡単な問題でした。
After all, that's
そ
how
れ
our
は
computer deals
デジタ
with
ル
data.
データと同じことだからです。
Unfortunately, intercerebral
しかし
transmission
実際には
and signals
伝
Unfortunately.
達物質や電気信号は脳内でアナログ的に変化することが分かっています。
So at present, the best
この
solution
問題
is
に関しては
simply to store data
今の
at
と
the
ころ
highest possible
より
sampling
高い
rate.
サンプリングレートでデータをサンプルする方法しか手段を持っていません。
Fortunately, it isn't a good thing. It isn't a binary thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now because we'd be way too fucking stupid.
In musical teams, you could
音
say
楽の話で言えば
something at 48
44.1kHz よりも 48kHz 48kHz よりも 96kHz でサンプリングするといった具合です。
Instead of simply at that, no, we'd go even further beyond. Go in infinity kilohertz. Google
それによってデジタルでありながらアナログデータに近い情報を得ようとしています。
Little by little, the mood in the room was turning to disappointment. People were beginning to wonder if this was just a pretty theory that wouldn't work in reality. More questions came. All the questioners were skeptical of the professor's theory, and many of them seemed to be outright challenging him. I started to get upset. This was Dr. Leskin's research, but it was also Kurisu's. I knew better than anyone that it worked, and the sight of so many people refusing to give it a chance infuriated me. Fuck all of you! You know nothing! You're peasants to her! Are these people really scientists? I tried to keep myself under control and look back towards the podium. Was she mad?
Baka?
She certainly looked disappointed. Dr. Leskinen was very polite with the rude questioners, acknowledging the problems with the theory. She was very different. Her anger was starting to seep into her interpreting, too. Ooh, uh-oh. I felt kind of a kinship with her. The question and answer session continued.
そもそもこれは医学的に無謀でしょう。デジタルデータを脳に書き戻すなんて絶対に不可能だ。正気の沙汰ではない。サイエンス誌に掲載されたあの論文も読みましたが、にわかには信じられない。
I also played the voice for one of the guys that got beat up by Kiryu and Yakuza.
いや、筆頭著者が若干17歳の女性だったとあっては。
何ですか? That was the one thing I couldn't ignore.
あなたね。
あたねね。
Oh! Okabe time! We're in all black now. I am in constant mourning.
Huh?
Look at her face.
Nani?
The two people on stage and the entire audience all turned toward me at once.
やってみもしないで何がわかるって言うんだ。最初は無理だと思われてた技術なんてこの世にいくらでもあるじゃないか。
Have none of you ever worked a microwave before? Have you ever seen a banana become jellified?
でもそれを克服した研究者がいたからこそ今があるんだろう。ただ批判するだけじゃ何も生まれない。
The whole theater went silent, but I didn't regret standing up.
あなた。
On the stage, Maho Hiyajo was staring at me in shock. And as for Dr. Leskinen, saw a flash of white teeth as our eyes met.
Awesome. He's very something.
Awesome! He's very something! He started to applaud. Why was he applauding? It just makes things embarrassing. Stop it! Stop applauding me! You're supposed to be embarrassed for me!
素晴らしい。彼はなかなか大したやつだ。ですって。
Oh, that's what he said, okay. Mao translated the professor's words for me to hear.
A scientist must
ただ
always
し
remain composed.
科学者たるもの常に冷静でなければいけない。
I am calm!
The only time when it is
大
possible
声で
to
怒鳴って
shock
いい
is
のは
when your
実験が
experiment is
成
a
功した
success and you
時
say,
の
Eureka!
We did it!
We did it!
Yatta! Did she actually say that part in English too? I think she did. She went, we did it! Now you should say, Yatta!
And that should be enough.
それだけで十分だそうですよ。
すみません。
Sumimasen. I lowered my head and sat down. Ashamed. Thought I was calm, but I guess I let my emotions get away from me. Hadn't grown up at all in the past 6 months. If Kurisu was here, she'd be making fun of me again. I could feel the rest of the audience staring at me coldly. It hurt my insides. If I could have left, I would have wanted to, but I was too interested in hearing the rest of Dr. Leskinen's talk to move.
Anyway, moving on.
それでは皆さん、そろそろ次に。
Oh, first, a round of
で
applause,
も、
please, for
そ
our
の
great
前
friend.
に勇敢な彼に拍手をお願いします。
Ah! Oh no. Please, no. God! No! Don't do it. Don't!
Men like him are what
彼
drives
のような
scientific
挑戦者
progress
こそが
and enact the
科学を
core
進歩させ、
remarkable theories.
あっと驚くような理論を作り上げるのです。
No, fuck that guy! I'm not clapping for him!
He may even become the third
彼なら
Einstein.
きっと第3のアインシュタインになれるかもしれませんね。
The third Einstein. Or he was the second Einstein. The second Einstein was probably Stephen Hawking, right? Okay, I think we all know who Einstein is.
The second Einstein, of course,
ちなみに
demised slightly was
第
the
2のアイン
assistant
シュ
here.
タイン
Oh, here
は
we go.
ここにいるちょっと小うるさい私の助手。
Oh, okay, never mind.
変なこと言うのはやめてください、教授。
The audience chuckled. Ah! Sheesh.
さて、ここで私はしばらく通訳をお休みさせていただきます。これから私よりも優秀な通訳が登場します。これが私たちのチームが今最も力を入れている2つ目のプロジェクト。アマデウスシステムです。
Okay. She finished speaking. Maho walked to the back of the stage. And at Dr. Leskinen's signal, the PC screen was displayed on the projector. And then I heard a voice.
皆さん、初めてお目にかかります。
Oh god, it's AI version of her. The murmuring got louder than before, but it felt more uncertain than surprised. Ah, it's Alexa! Or Siri! Or other robo things. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl who'd just been
ちなみ
interpreting.
にこれは映画などで有名なドリンクワークススタジオに作成してもらった
Delinquent Studio! Oh, I wonder who that could possibly be a reference to. Fictional American CG movie production company who made your favorite childhood movies like Sex Toy Story and Ralph Wrecks That Pussy and Monster Dicks Inc. I always did love those movies, especially Monster Dicks Inc. That's a classic. Maho Hiyajo chimed in from the back of the
声に
stage.
ついては私のボイスサンプルをデータベースにして日本の山名が作ってくれました
Yamana. An instrument maker that was founded in the 19th century in the 2000s began to develop and sell the artificial voice software DTM and DTM desktop music software for PCs. Oh, yes. This is again another reference to this. Is it Yamada? I actually have a keyboard that is by this company. I think it is Yamada. Any of you Americans here watch The Blimsons? This was CG. Sure looked real to me. Professor said something into the laptop's microphone. And then the 3D model of Maho Hiyajo on the screen opened its mouth.
私はヒヤジョウマホです正確に言うなら78時間22分前のヒヤジョウマホから派生した存在ということになります
If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear something slightly off. But it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I'd ever heard.
先ほどから皆さんの質問を聞かせていただいていました教授はどうして私を早く紹介しないのかとてももどかしく思っていましたよ以前から感じていましたがどうも教授は人が悪いようですねまったくだわ
Maho Hiyajo on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated expression. And the Maho Hiyajo by the wall nodded in agreement. Dr. Leskinen simply smiled. What the hell is going on here? What part of this was their biggest project? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did.
皆さんの多くは疑問に思っています人間の記憶をデータとして取り出したりそれを保存したりさらにはそのデータを活用したりそんなことが本当に可能なのかとそれでは私は一体何でしょうか私は78時間23分前にヒヤジョウマホの脳内から取り出された記憶を持ちそのデータをベースにして動いているのです
I just had a cookie and it was tasty.
What'd you just say? Professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho and she was responding exactly the same way.
教授今のは
Ah!
教授今の発言はセクシャルハラスメントとして大学に訴えてもいいでしょうか
Ah! Dr. Leskinen laughed cheerfully and responded to her. The conversation was in quick English and over the half of the audience couldn't understand it. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone.
教授はですねその私に対していえ私の記憶で動作しているこのアマデウスに対して質問に答えてごらんと言いましたいつ頃までそのパパとお風呂に入っていたかとか
Creepy, man. It's
そ
creepy.
れはいつだったかとか何でも答えられるだろうとああもうそれ以上通訳しなくていいわ
Look at that guy's creepy, cheeky smile. He's like, yeah.
Bakuna!
恥ずかしいからやめてくれないかしら私はそういう質問には一切答えないわよ
Professor says something else. The Maho on the screen groaned and turned
クレ
away.
ジットカードの番号なんてもっと言えませんあと1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色なんて覚えてるわけないです
What was this? It's so natural I couldn't tell at first, but this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? Felt very different than a typical AI. I could can tell that much. It wasn't answering the questions it was given. And because they were embarrassing, was it programmed to respond like that to certain questions for the purposes of this demonstration? It was possible that's all it was, but if that conversation wasn't programmed in advance, the rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion I did, and the whisper started to turn into a surprised murmur.
ちょっといい加減このいたずらな子供を何とかしてくれないかしら。何をしたいのか理解はできるけど、とにかく恥ずかしいわ。
Okabe and Maho was complaining to the original. Felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking.
いたずらな子供ではなく、レスキネン教授が面白がってなかなか説明してくれないので、代わりに私がお話しします。
Maho walked back to the
皆
professor.
さん、もうお分かりかと思いますが、アマデウスは自分が話していいこととそうでないこと、あるいは話したいことと話したくないことを自ら判断して喋っています。私たちはアマデウスにそういったプログラムを一切施していません。
I knew
彼
it.
女は与えられた私の記憶からそれを独自に判断し、自律的にそういう行動をとっているのです。
The Maho on screen suddenly took over for her.
そしてこれは先ほどの医療分野への応用とは方向性が真逆になってしまい、研究所内でもずっと議論が交わされていることですが、私は不必要な情報をいつの間にか忘れてしまう
Oh,
というか、記憶の引き出しから出してこられなくなるのです。皆さんと同じようにです。
ah, interesting. Okay. Why would we want that feature? No.
例えば
I want to be a god.
前に着ていたパジャマの色、確かにそれを知っていたはずなのに今は思い出せません。そのような情報は生存していく上で必要がないからです。これも皆さんと同じです。このようにアマデウスは記憶のインプットやアウトプットが人間のそれと非常に近いのです。これは私たちも驚くべき結果として研究を重ねている最中で、まだ詳しくは解明されていません。
As Maho finished up, Dr. Leskinen took the microphone back and she resumed interpreting as he continued the lecture.
However, what really surprised us
さらに
was that Amadeus could
私たちを
intentionally lie.
驚かせたのは、アマデウスが意図して嘘をつくということ。
Deliberate lies.
Some sort of bug
何らか
or
の
glitch.
トラブルや
This is
ミスではな
purposeful
く、
behavior.
わざとそうするのです。
Lying is really just
嘘は
another method of human
人間
communication.
が他人とコミュニケーションを取る上での一つの手法です。
Amadeus examined the memories
アマデウスも
entered and has no
インプットされた記憶を自律的に検討し、
if it
必要であれば
deemed that action necessary.
自分や他人のために平気で嘘をつきます。
Nah.
教授、誤解を招くような言い方はやめてください。
Bacchanal! Don't tell them that! No!
Oh, all right. It's interesting. It's off to a pretty good start. I mean, the beginning was sad. They were continuing right where the other one ended, but it's interesting. We're kind of digging back into what I think made the other one so fascinating, right? Back to the science again, with now a new little smart girl who's also seems to be a little tsundere. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end things here for now, guys. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think about the voices, if you want me to keep them on, or if you want me to turn them back off and just continue to do what I did in the first series. But yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. And hey, if you're looking forward to more of this series, or you're finally happy that I'm actually doing this now, please leave a like and a favorite. It really does help me out. Let me know if you want to see more of it. And of course, subscribe if you're not already become a picky penguin aboard the SLP, where the days are always sunny and the vids are always funny. And as always, guys, till next time, stay classy!